Okay.
Hello everyone, it's Dom here from Esports News UK. I'm at the League of Legends Convergence event in London. It's the latest game from Riot Forge, and I'm joined by two people from Double Stallion.
Yeah, so my name's Eric Angelillo. I'm the creative director at Double Stallion Games.
And I'm Thomas Muir. I'm a senior producer at Double Stallion.
Great stuff. So thanks, Eric and Thomas. Well, first of all, I've played the game. I enjoyed it as someone who's grown up playing Metroid, and you know, there's that term Metroidvania and all of that. I guess tell us a little bit about the game first of all, and you know, the thought process behind it, what League fans can maybe expect from it.
Yeah, so I mean, fundamentally, Convergence League of Legends story is a story-driven 2D action platformer, starring Echo, the favorite time rewinding champion, and it's really a game where we want to tell Echo's story, express Zon from his perspective, and really leverage kind of like what he's about, what his abilities are, namely time rewind, as well as some other things from his kit that players of League would be familiar with.
Yeah, do you want to add anything to that?
I mean,
that was a good overview, to be fair. Yeah,
he's done a great job. I mean, this is what to expect. It is our take on Echo. You know, a 2D action platformer where we had the opportunity to really kind of dive into some of his signature moves, and so that's pretty much it. It's an exciting way to kind of experience Echo in a different setting.
What's it like to be a part of to be creating a game in the League of Legends universe? Because for me, I've followed League for like a decade or so now, and we've seen only in recent years, you know, Riot trying to branch out, hit more of like a mainstream audience, reach more gamers beyond those hardcore League fans. So it must be nice to be a part of that. But it's one of several games, isn't it? This as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, that the direction that Riot is taking with Riot Forge and being part of it, like you said, is unique. And not only is it cool to be able to work with the League of Legends universe, but the whole experience with Riot Forge has been amazing. They didn't came to us and say, "Hey, do a game with Echo." They said, "We love what you do. Pick a champion," and then from there they really kind of let us do what we wanted to, you know, let us do the game we wanted to make, and they supported us through it. So just that in itself is really a unique experience.
Yeah, I think what's really cool about it is that, you know, players know League as this big IP, this big game, but there are all these like multiplayer experiences, and doing this kind of like smaller narrative-driven experience really lets us dig into like the lore and kind of other aspects of gameplay that you can't really get from a PvP experience. And so, you know, we did that quite directly in some cases with adapting Echo's kit to work in a single-player scenario.
I think it's a good area of the world you've focused on as well, right? Piltover and Zorn, if I'm not mistaken. I'm Esports first and Lore second, you'll have to forgive me. But it's set in that similar area to Arcane, right? The Netflix game. So can Arcane fans out there expect any little Easter eggs and things like that? Maybe Vi is my champion, so I'd love to see Vi in the game, but obviously I know you can't give too much away.
Yeah, so the focus is really on Zon as a whole through kind of Echo's perspective. Of course, we do have some champions and tons of Easter eggs for fans and players alike. And whether you know Echo from League of Legends or from Arcane, you know, there's a little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah. When is the game? I know it's an obvious question. When is the game out? Because I don't actually know.
Yeah, May 23rd.
Oh, so it's
next week.
Yeah. Next week. Okay. So this is great. So this is good
time.
timing.
You can pre-order now.
Yeah. Okay. And it's on multiple platforms, isn't it? Because I was saying beforehand, I'm very much I'm a dad. I get limited time. Playing on the Switch is good for me, and there's quite a few of those League games on the Switch now. Was it relatively simple? I'm not a developer, but to do those multi-platform, cross-platform.
Yeah. I mean, it was early on a decision we made to be on all those platforms. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC, and then we really kind of build the game to make sure that every, like on a day-to-day when you pick it up, you can play on any platform. There's things that you need to tackle. Obviously, they're not the same power inside those machines. So we had to do some extra work to make sure that you have the same experience whether you're playing on a Switch or you play on a Series X or PlayStation 5. But this is how we built it. So there's always challenges in building multi-platform, but from the ground up, every build, every version that you get on a daily basis was playable on all platforms, and we've tried to maintain this over time.
I'm interested that the event here is being held in London because you're based in Canada.
Yep.
Obviously, we've got MSI London going on here. I've been doing a lot of my coverage around that.
Yep.
Is that why London? Is it because of MSI? Right, we're here and thought we could do two things at once.
I would refer to Riot Forge for this. They're the one handling the whole event. We're just glad we're here. Glad to have the opportunity to kind of work with the Red Bull event, and then have everybody kind of come in and play. So wherever it is, we're happy to be here.
I think there's a lot of league energy in London this week, and it was awesome for us. I mean, we got to go see some matches yesterday, so that was really fun. And
Oh,
great.
cool. Who do you see? Do you follow esports? I mean, that's an interesting thing. How many would you say on your dev team follows league esports, or is it a lot coming to it blind? Maybe.
Yeah, quite a few actually. The level of excitement for some of the teammates that came here was quite high. There's a handful of them. I used to be a league player. So I haven't played in a long time, and I'm not following esports for the moment. But just being back and seeing a game, I could feel the energy in the room and the excitement and looking at the people. I've seen this before, and it just almost right away wanted to kind of come back home and say, maybe I'm gonna just kind of reinstall and replay it again.
Yeah.
Do you follow league esports? Like you say, you watched some matches the other day.
Yeah, I haven't recently. I've been really focused on shipping the game, but yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's been kind of the same story there. A lot of our younger devs, they're really involved, and some of them are here tonight, so it's really exciting for them.
You're right about the energy, because at this event, when I came in, I could tell it was a slightly different crowd to the esports crowd. I'm guessing streamers, content creators here, and I guess that's one of the advantages of working with Riot Forge. You're going to have access to all of these content creators and people ready to lap up new League of Legends content.
Yeah. What I find the most interesting is that some of the people that I've talked to over the last few days, some don't play. They were here at the esports event. They don't play. They just enjoy watching it. Some like to cosplay it. And then this is where we're happy to actually be part of that world, because this is what Convergence is about. This is our vision of the story. This is a different experience. This is about a different way to experience Echo while still being true to the era. And then you can feel this in the air. So it's just one more experience for League fans, whether they play the League of Legends, whether they love Arcane. This is something that will bring a different experience, something they can dive in and enjoy the world of Zon.
Yeah. I always. I know it's an obvious question, but what's next? Is there any other things on the horizon, or maybe things you can't talk about?
Exactly. Yeah. Things on the horizon.
I have to ask.
Things we can.
Because I've already heard things at this event. Oh, Dom, apparently there's a few people here that know what happens in Arcane Season 2, which isn't what we're here to talk about today, but it got my radar going. One thing I do have to ask about is, as you're here in London, have you been to London before? And I've been asking a lot of esports players what they think of British food and things like that here. So I'm going to ask you guys: have you had much British food, or is it?
I'm French originally, so I don't know if I'm allowed to answer that question. But it's a trick question. It's a trick question. I'm joking. I've been here many times, and London is a vibe that is unique to London. And every time I come here, I'm actually going to be back this summer with my son. To actually visit London and the Cotswolds, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Is there a meal of choice here? Nando's, maybe?
Definitely the breakfast, English breakfast. I just have one meal and I'm good for the day. It's
blood sausage.
One and done.
I'm pleased you've said that, because most of the players and people I've spoken to, they're like, English. I spoke to Travis Gafford. I've seen Travis is here today doing the content creation, and he was like, you have beans with your breakfast and all of that. So I said to him, have you had a full English breakfast? He said, isn't that just beans on bread? And I said, no, there's more to it than that, Is there anything else you'd like to add? I think this has been a good chat. The game's out soon. Is the price point, I know this will all be, when I do the article, but handy for people who are just watching this video as well and coming in blind.
I'm not familiar with the regional pricing.
Okay.
Same here. It will vary from one region to the next. And I don't want to say something that I can't remember.
But as a last point, it's good to know that Convergence is really all killer and no filler. So it's really a game that from beginning to end we've crafted to just have like unique chapters, unique levels with new mechanics. And it's not a game about kind of grinding and stretching out the content. It's just you're going to get in there and it's just going to be exciting through and through.
Can I ask, just lastly as well, the whole Metroidvania thing, you might get a bit sick of it, right? I'm sure people make lots of comparisons. But is it very much like that? You know, upgrades, getting access to new areas later on in the game? Or is it slightly different?
No, we really build the game as a narrative-driven action platformer. So we really minimize any kind of backtracking and stuff like that. It's really just more about a crafted experience, but we do have like multiple paths through each level. So there's lots of side content, there's lots of collectibles and things to find in that respect. And we found that this was really the best approach to tell the story that we wanted to tell, because there is really quite a bit of narrative content, a lot of cutscenes and stuff to really like flesh out the lore and really express kind of the story with Echo.
Yeah, great stuff. I feel like I missed a question here, but is there anything else you'd like to add? Thanks for talking to me.
No, like we've said, it's a unique experience while still being about Echo. The event has been awesome for us, and we're quite excited about the rest of the of players to be able to have access it on the 23rd, and then just get that feedback and kind of share what we've been working on for so long.
Great stuff. Well, good luck with the launch of the game. Well done for finishing and all that stuff. It felt polished to me. I quite enjoyed it playing it. I wasn't great, but then I'm an aging gamer now, so yeah, I'm looking forward to its release. And thank you for talking to me.
Thank you,
guys.
Thank you so much.
See you all soon.
No losses, I don't do lipo. A few screws loose in the head, I'm a psycho. Promise you the bar, this is real as the bite though. Careful not to get too close, I might just go.